can't come to Book Off without an airplane flying overhead. It's impossible. How's it going, everybody? It is Friday, March 13th. Friday the 13th. It's a very spooky day.
Ooh, very scary.
Yeah, it's a very scary day. And coming over here to Book Off to do one of my favorite things, and that is buy used DVDs, Blu-rays. Very excited to do this. Giving myself a challenge to get 13 horror DVDs, and we're gonna try to go as cheap as possible. I'm very excited to see what they got. $3 and under. Okay, we can find 13 horror movies that are under $3, right? I have faith. Well, we're already off to a bad start. That's $5. $3 and under. Come on. Why is this $5 DVD in here? Why? It's not a horror film, but I do remember going to see this in theaters with Kelly back when it came out. And the line to get in was massive. Like, this was a huge deal when it came out. Freaking sold out show. It was crazy. I'm not gonna get this one, but Frailty. This movie is wild. You've never seen this Matthew McConaughey movie. It is nuts. Great movie. Great twist. Highly recommend Frailty if you've never seen it. Check it out. It's really good. Another movie with a great twist. Identity. Just a movie that came out of nowhere. Really knocked me for a loop when I watched it the first time. Love this movie. Check out Identity. Alright, talking about one of the worst movies I've ever seen. See No Evil. This is a WWE film starring Kane as this serial killer slasher guy. It's really bad. I went to see a advanced screening of this. You know, they give like those free tickets from like radio stations and stuff. And yeah, my buddies and I went to go, and we came close to walking out of a free movie. It was that bad. See No Evil is terrible. Do not watch it. Alright, we got our haul. I found 13 movies. Only spent like $35. That's not bad at all, you know? For 13 movies, I think I scored plenty well. I'll show you what I got when we get home. And oh, another airplane. I'm telling you, every time I come here, it's just airplane city. Alright, we'll talk more when I get home. Alright, I'm back from Book Off. Love that place. Got all kinds of old junk there for collectors like me. It's got, you know, DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, vinyl, video games from every system, video games from Japan, CDs from Japan, Pokemon cards, collectible toys, all kinds of stuff there. Books, obviously. It's called Book Off. So, always a treat going there. I know I'm going to find something cool. And I think I found 13 pretty cool movies to celebrate this Friday the 13th. So, starting things off, we have probably the best movie of this whole bunch. And that is the original Saw. The very first Saw film that came out back in like 2000... What? No, 2004 is when this came out. I remember going to a film festival in like 2003, and the president of Lionsgate was there, and he was talking to somebody, and I just happened to kind of be like nearby. You know, just me and the president of Lionsgate just hanging out. Anyway, he was talking to somebody who worked at the festival, and they're asking like, oh, hey, what's the big Lionsgate movie that's going to be coming out in the next few months? And he's like, well, there's this movie that we just got from an Australian director called Saw, and this is poised to be maybe the biggest horror release of the last, 20 years. Like, this is going to revolutionize horror, and everybody's going to be making copycats of Saw because it's going to be that groundbreaking. And he was right. This movie was massive, and every horror film was basically torture porn after that. You had your Hostels, you had the Hills Have Eyes remake, a bunch of movies came out. High Tension's a good movie. Holy crap. If you've never seen High Tension, that's a French film, horror movie. That movie is nuts. Go watch High Tension. I wish they would have had High Tension. I would have picked that up. Anyway, Saw is great. I don't own a copy, now I do on Blu-ray. So looking forward to checking this out again. We're just going right into the garbage here. We've got Tremors 5, Bloodlines, starring Michael Gross, who's Bert from the other... Right? Is he Bert? Yeah, Bert Gummer. He was in the first Tremors, and I believe he's the only recurring character in all of the rest of the Tremors movies. For whatever reason, Michael Gross is the Tremors guy. Took over from Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward? I think that was the actor's name. Anyway, this is Tremors 5. Jamie Kennedy also stars in this, the incomparable Jamie Kennedy. I love the first Tremors. I've never seen any of the follow-ups. I hope I don't need to have seen Tremors 2 through 4 to understand what happens in this movie, because I'm just going to dive right into Tremors 5. So hopefully this is as bad as I'm expecting it to be. Speaking of other direct-to-DVD or direct-to-video horror sequels, we have Lost Boys, The Tribes, or The Tribe, just The Tribe. It's a singular tribe. This came out in the 2000s, back when I used to work at a video store. I was a manager for Hollywood Video, if you remember that video store chain, for several years. And I remember with this coming out, they had a big panel for it at Comic-Con and everything. And I heard it's pretty bad. But it's Lost Boys. I love the first movie. It's a absolute classic, and I'm dying to finally check this out. Like 20 years after it came out. Okay, some of these are gonna skirt the idea of a horror film, but you know what? Anything that's kind of has a spooky element to it, I'm gonna be into. So I picked up The Andromeda Strain. This is the original film adaptation of the Michael Crichton novel. I just read The Andromeda Strain not too long ago. Great book. I am excited to see how the movie fares. If you don't know what The Andromeda Strain is about, there's a satellite that crashes in a small town in the middle of nowhere, like in the desert, and it unleashes some kind of a disease and wipes this entire town out. And so they bring all these scientists to this bunker out in the middle of the desert to try and figure out what the disease is and how to stop it from spreading around the world and killing everybody. Great book. Dying to see how this film adaptation goes. Speaking of book adaptations, this is 1408. It is based on a Stephen King novel. I've seen this once. When it first came out on DVD way back, whatever that was, it was in the mid-2000s. John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson star in this one. I don't remember it being, like, fantastic, but I do remember it being kind of cool. A fun thing about this one, this was put out by the Weinstein Company, I believe, or distributed by them. Anyway, when I worked at Hollywood Video, Weinstein Company made a deal with Blockbuster to exclusively sell them their films for rental, but there's some kind of law that says it's against the law to stop someone from renting out your product. It was like kind of a landmark case from the 80s or whatever. So anyway, we as Blockbuster, as Hollywood Video managers, had to take like petty cash from our safe, go to a nearby store, Walmart, Target, or whatever, and buy copies off the shelf that we would then rent in the store. And so we would be told, like, you would get allocated, like, okay, you need to go pick up 25 copies of 1408. So I'd have to go to a Target and like try to find 25 copies and hope that they would sell them to me. And if not, just get however many they would allow me to get, and then go to the next store, another, like a Walmart or a different Target, and buy up until I had 25 and got it. If you couldn't find all 25, then you couldn't find all 25, but that's how many you were allowed to purchase. So anyway, 1408, I'm gonna watch this again. It's been about probably 17, 18 years since I've seen this. Hopefully it's good. Here we have Black Christmas, or Black Xmas, if you don't want to pronounce the cross part. This is a remake of a horror film from, I believe, the 70s, maybe 80s. I think it's the 70s though. It's a slasher, and I remember hearing good things about it. In fact, it's called John Monahan from the Detroit Free Press called it the best horror film of the year. So sorry, one of the best horror films of the year. Anyway, yeah, I remember this again coming out when I worked at Hollywood Video. Never watched it for whatever reason. Now I'm going to, and maybe it'll be good. Maybe it's dog shit. I don't know. We're going to find out. All right, here's a movie that I've been hearing, that I've heard a lot about over the years. This is The Changeling. It has George C. Scott, one of the greatest actors of all time. He played Patton in the film Patton, won the Academy Award for that. So this is a horror film that he starred in. Don't know too much about it. I've just heard that it's very good, very spooky. It has that 70s horror grit. And yeah, I'm excited to check out The Changeling. I got it for, that says $7, but it was actually $2. I got this for $2. Come on, man. You can't do better than that. $2 for a movie. Here's another one that I've seen and enjoyed. This is Cloverfield from J.J. Abrams, I believe. The back is like cover. What the hell is this? Okay. Anyway, this is Cloverfield. This is a found footage film about a group of friends who run around New York as it's being attacked by an alien creature, filmed with a shaky handheld camera. It was groundbreaking when it came out, and I don't know if it holds up. A lot of people kind of like, oh, J.J. Abrams fucking sucks. I don't mind J.J. Abrams. I think he's pretty good. Anyway, this is, yeah, I'm excited to see this. Fun fact, 10 Cloverfield Lane, the kind of like quasi-sequel to this movie, that is 10 years old this week, so cool. Now we got a couple of movies that are from like different horror lines. So this is Hellride, or as Enid called it in the store, Heck Ride. This is a Quentin Tarantino Presents film from the Dimension Extreme series of releases. So, you know, I'm sure Quentin Tarantino had nothing to do with like the making of this movie. Well, he is noted as an executive producer, but this came out clearly. It's kind of going for the Grindhouse style. Remember when Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez did Grindhouse back in the mid-2000s, and then a whole bunch of movies that came out that were kind of like Grindhouse-esque films. This is one of those. This is never saw this, but again, this was one of those Weinstein Company films that we didn't get at Hollywood Video, and I don't think it was big enough for us to go out and buy copies to rent. Like, they didn't give a shit if we had a copy of this or not at Hollywood Video. So yeah, I'm gonna finally check this out. It's got what's that guy's name? Eric Bauza? Eric Balfour. Michael Madsen's also in this, apparently. Yeah, for $2, I can find out if this sucks or not. Quentin Tarantino produced it. It can't be that bad, right? Who are the other producers? Bob and Harvey Weinstein. What are those guys up to? And this is a film in the Ghost House Underground series. I don't know who exactly ran Ghost House. I guess I could have looked it up before I started shooting the video. But these were a whole line of DVDs that came out when I worked at Hollywood Video back in the 2000s. And we didn't get all of them. Again, I don't think the company cared if we got every single movie, especially if it was some piece of crap like this. But anyways, this is called No Man's Land. Don't know anything about it other than it is part of the Ghost House Underground line of direct-to-DVD films. So this could be terrible, or it could be a hidden gem. I just don't know. But it was $2, and it's Friday the 13th, and I wanted to be spooked. So this is what I got. Okay, these next two are going to skirt the idea of horror film, again, kind of like Andromeda Strain. So this is Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. This is actually a 2-disc deluxe edition. I got that for $2. I mean, come on. That's $1 a disc. Yeah, so this is, I believe, the 3rd movie in the Mummy series, or maybe 4th if you count Scorpion King. So anyways, this came out in the late 2000s, I remember, or maybe early 2010s. Does it say on here? Late 2000s or early 2010s. Anyway, I remember the summer this came out, I was going to go watch all these movies in theaters, and this was going to be one of them. And then, I was broke and poor, and I didn't go watch this movie in theaters. But I wanted to, never got around to it. It's got Jet Li in it. Jet Li is a fantastic martial arts actor from China, up there with Jackie Chan in terms of like, coolness level. So anyways, yeah, I've never seen this, always wanted to, so I got it. Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. And the other kind of non-horror spooky movie I got is Scoop. This is a Woody Allen film, which he's kind of spooky if you're familiar with Woody Allen. But this is a movie where Scarlett Johansson and Hugh Jackman are looking for a serial killer, I believe. She's a journalist, and he is some kind of a guy. I don't know. But spoiler, I think she's the bad guy. But anyways, Scoop. It's a funny, kind of witty. It's a Woody Allen movie, so it's got dialogue, and it's supposed to be really good. I watched this when it came out, but I can't remember anything about it other than, again, I think Hugh Jackman is the killer. So spoiler. But anyways, Woody Allen's also in this movie, so thank God for that. Thank God I get to look at Woody Allen again and think about what he may or may not have done. So anyways, yeah, this is Scoop. And lastly, because it's Friday the 13th, I had to, of course, get a Friday the 13th film. This is the remake of Friday the 13th, the reboot, so to speak. Remake, I guess. It's from the same people who made, so in the early mid-2000s, so after Saw came out, there was kind of like this big push for like gorier films. And so they did like a remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They did a remake of The Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left. All of these 70s and 80s movies were getting remakes. And so, of course, Friday the 13th had to get a remake. I don't remember this being all that great. You can't top the original Friday the 13th. And it was there. They had it. But it was like $15. And I was like, no. I got a strict, like, cheap movie only thing going on here. So I went with this Friday the 13th remake. I think it has Danielle Panabaker. Yeah, she's like the big actress in this. Danielle Panabaker, Jared Padalecki. If you watched like teen movies in the 2000s, you know exactly who these people are. Jared Padalecki, he might be in Supernatural. Is that the show he was on? Big show he was on. Anyway, this is going to be hopefully a good watch. I mean, there's a girl with her top off on the back, so at least I got that to look forward to. It's got some titties to look forward to in that. So yeah, that's it. Those were my Friday the 13th horror film, cheapy horror film collection. Can't wait to watch all these. Probably gonna watch them all tonight. Obviously, 13 movies in one night. I can do it, right? I can't, but I'll get around to these at some point. Very happy to have these in my collection now. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that you will watch tomorrow's video and every video after that, and go back and watch some of the older ones I've got. I've got a couple other of these kind of DVD showing off movies. I do have a box coming from Loved Again Media, so when that shows up, I'll show off those DVDs as well, and hopefully you will come for that. So anyways, take care everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.